Hey there, badass dream makers. This is the Relationship of Your Dreams podcast. It's Alex, your badass dream maker host. I'm here because I believe that all humans deeply desire and thrive in loving relationships. And let me tell you, it's possible because many do find the love of their dreams and more. I'm just here as a guide to help you through the variety of obstacles and hurdles in dating and relationships so that you can also find the love of your dreams. And you're bound to learn about yourself as well. So, 2-in-1 deal. We will get deep here and you may feel triggered at times. Triggers and discomfort are part of a growth process. However, please use discretion as to how much discomfort you are ready for. Now, let's jump into this juicy episode and get you what you want. Hello and welcome back to the Relationship of Your Dreams podcast. This is Alex, your host. I hope y'all are having a fantastic day, and fantastic is my favorite word because it's so spunky. I don't know how to describe it, but I love the energy behind it. And today I want to talk about intuition. And I want to say first that I'm in my 8th relationship, and in previous relationships, I have broken up with a few people several times, like up to 3 times. I think this happened. I think I broke up with my last partner 3 times, the one before that 3 times, the one before that twice, the one before that twice. So I've been through this ringer of, okay, my intuition told me I should break up with this person. And then I break up with them. And then I end up going back because I doubt myself. I doubt that little voice in me that's saying, oh, this person's not for you. And I try to come up with every reason as to why I was wrong or why my intuition was wrong. Your intuition gives you little signs that come from your body, your soul, the higher power, all the above. And it is trying to communicate something with you. So when you develop a relationship with yourself, which you actually already have, unconsciously, and like as in even if you didn't know, you have a relationship with yourself which you can strengthen. But part of a relationship is communication, of course, and we have all heard that listening is key in communication, and a lot of us will just completely disregard our intuition. And if you are more predominantly in your feminine, part of your superpower is to listen to your intuition. You have a very, very strong intuition, okay? Do not take that for granted. Do not take that with a grain of salt. It is true. Your intuition is very strong. And I'm sure that whoever's listening who's more in their feminine understands what I'm saying, regardless of if you follow it or not. So I just want to start by saying, like, sometimes, yes, sometimes when relationships aren't going well, we have to work on it. That is completely possible. That could be the case for sure. And then there's other times where our intuition is saying, no, this is not the person. This is not the person. And like I said, we try to disregard that. So I want to bring in smaller examples, or actually a small example of what not listening to your intuition can look like, and how you can actually practice at the smaller level so that it is easier to apply in your dating life, in your love life. Like, this is especially if you are dating. However, I would have benefited from this in my past relationships to hear this personally, to have listened to my intuition sooner. And I would say this is definitely helpful in dating because you might be seeing a few different people. So you can listen to your intuition to feel it out. So let me share this small example. Recently, I have been listening to my intuition very intentfully, and I can hear it pretty clearly and see it very clearly. Actually, something that's new to me is when I try to listen to my intuition, I will look in my gut, because gut feelings, and I will close my eyes, and basically, like, it'll be like a curtain reveal of a visual and maybe a word or a few words that come to mind, and then I'll follow that. For example, I had this little curtain open to a Starbucks, and I just kept hearing the word Starbucks, so I decided to go to Starbucks, and I had a fantastic experience there. But let me give you a fail example as of recent. So, a few days ago, I ended up going to a coffee shop when honestly I should have just turned around and gone home and went to sleep. But we learn from our mistakes. So what happened here was I had been feeling pretty tired because I had poor sleep. I had really wanted to do some work at a coffee shop, but I also just wanted to sit there with a croissant and relax. I've been really intentful about engaging in pleasure and engaging in relaxation, which is all part of the feminine energy. And on the way to the coffee shop, I heard this little voice that was coming from my gut that said, "Turn around, go home, go sleep. Turn around, go home, go sleep." And I said no to that. And in my mind, I could tell, and in my gut, like I was like, oh, this is probably wrong. Like, this is probably not the right move. And I'm going to do it anyways because I sometimes am just a trial and error person and I just need to see something fail sometimes in order to like really learn from it. And I've seen this fail many times prior, and I think that because I've been in such a groove of engaging in pleasure and relaxation that there's a part of me that wanted to be a little rebellious against that. And again, I was also low sleep. So that could be a part of it as well. But let's just say after that coffee shop, my heart rate was pretty high, but I was like, I need to go to the gym. And then I go to the gym and I almost passed out and I had to lie on the ground, have people help me get picked up. And I was shaking, really nauseous. And I've only ever fainted to needles or a loss of blood. I've never fainted or come this close to fainting in any other situation. So I clearly pushed my limits, right? And there was a clear sign to me to turn around, go home, and sleep. It wasn't the voice, it wasn't the answer that I wanted to hear, it wasn't the message I wanted to hear, and that's okay. Our intuition isn't always going to tell us the message that we want to hear, but there's a reason for it. And if I had listened to that message, if I had gone home and slept and then went out, I'm sure my day would have been much different. Much different. Because I had to rest after that. And all the work that I wanted to do had to stop there. So, this was just a little episode about how it's important to follow your intuition and even just in these small moments, practice in these small moments. So, you hear a little voice coming from your gut, like listen to it. Really try to go to places where you can be in solitude. And so you can hear your voice more clearly, hear that gut feeling more clearly. Sometimes someone is more feeling it rather than hearing it. I will hear it and I will see it. Some people just feel it. And so just figure out how your intuition talks to you. Again, you're in a relationship with yourself. You know yourself best. Just talk to yourself. And again, a place in solitude is helpful because it's just going to be you and yourself. So it's easier to listen. I know this was a small message and it can make a great impact. So go out there in solitude, listen to your intuition, apply it to small situations, even if it just means turning around, going home, and taking a nap. And it'll bring you to a greater outcome. Because when I started listening to my intuition, I ended up in the relationship of my dreams. Share this with a friend who you think would find this helpful. Share it on social media. Tag me at Relationship of Your Dreams. And that's also in the show notes. My Instagram handle's in the show notes. And I would love to hear what your thoughts are. And I would love to be helpful to you. If you'd like to reach out through the DMs, please do. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about those gut feelings. Let's talk about how you've been handling them, how you've been listening to them, what you could do to listen to them more, or if you relate or resonate in any way, let's talk about it. I am totally down to have these conversations, and I love the feedback. Or anything that you want to listen to or hear about, please reach out to me about that as well. I would love to engage in topics that are more helpful and interesting to you all. So please reach out again at Relationship of Your Dreams on Instagram. And thank you for listening.